Yeah, Rap Radio Podcast, Elliot Wilson.
My name is B-Dot.
B-Dot, what's up, baby?
I got my game face on today, Elliot.
You can't battle this man, though, man. He's going to eat you alive, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't even cover battle rap.
Facts.
But this man is the man of the hour in hip-hop. Wanted to have you, man. Geechi Gotti.
Geechi Gotti.
What's up, brother, bro?
I appreciate you.
Every battle rapper's hating right now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no battle rapper ever been on the Rap Radio Podcast.
Oh, yeah, man, the first one. Okay,
Yes,
let's
sir.
do it. Yeah, we got to do it right then.
But you're like the hottest name in battle rap right now, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So far, you had like 11 battles this year?
Yeah. And that's life for me because
Really?
I usually be having like 20. Like,
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? For real. So this like a light year as far as like in my career because like I kind of battled everybody. So like this year kind of me more giving shots and giving opportunities, you know what I'm saying? I've still got a few, maybe one or two big battles that I haven't battled, but for the most part I've battled like every name in the business, you know what I'm saying, for real.
So what clicked this year, even before the Eazy The Block battle? Like, what do you think it is about this year that's made it so special?
That made it so special for me. I think it was just one of those years where it was like I say, I've already battled everybody, so more so people were kind of like, what else is there for him to do? You know what I'm saying? Like he's already I done won Battler of the Year 3 times. I done been in like main stage battles probably more than anybody like in my generation of it. Done battled all the top names. So I think this year just for them to see me kind of scale back and like give shots, like a lot of the newer battlers that I've battled has been like going to their hometown or going to their home league, you know what I'm saying? And not just necessarily being on all the big platforms. Like I went to a lot of local leagues and, you know, gave shots out. So I think a lot of people respected that.
It tends to be a lot of overlap, right?
Yeah, for real.
But you're fresh from Toronto, which was historic for you, right? It's not easy to get into that country.
Nah, it's not, man. It's not. That was my first time ever even leaving the country as an adult, you know, and then being a felon, you know, it definitely can't get into there, but Organic, who's the owner of King of the Dot, which is the league I battled on, King of the Dot, the #1 league out there in Canada. They pulled some strings. I won't even say pulling no strings, but they went through the proper channels of what it took to kind of get me over there. It got me a thing called a TRP, which is like a temporary resident permit or something like that, to where I can go over there, come for work, basically, you know, let them know like, yo, this dude not coming over here to rob nobody, he not coming over here for no nonsense. He's actually coming over here for business and work, and they allowed it to happen. And then I'm actually at the moment able to go for like up to a year, but they're trying to get it to where it'll be like permanent, to where, you know, they can make it to where I don't even have those restrictions anymore, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of fans over there that I didn't even know I had until I went over there.
I read it was really expensive, man.
Yeah, no, it was, for real.
I saw it cost like $15,000.
Yeah, just to get the paperwork sent through, $15,000.
Lawyer fees.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then they still had to pay me, so shout out to Organic. You know what I'm saying?
What was the battle like? Because I know you also shouted out a fallen friend of yours.
Yes. The battle was against a guy named Hollahan, who was a good friend of Pat Stay, rest in peace. He passed away. He was a big icon in battle rap, but is also from Canada, so he passed away. He was a good friend of mine. I'm not as good as a friend of him as the guy I battled, though. The guy I battled, they grew up together, they knew each other. So for me, it was like, I'm getting to battle Hollahan. It's kind of like battling Pat Stay, because I was scheduled to battle before he passed away, didn't get a chance to do that. So I made it my business to like use my third round to get more of a tribute, because we tear each other down the whole battle, calling each other names, all this nonsense, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, we actually lost somebody that we all care about, even me and my opponent and the league that I'm on. So I'm like, I'm gonna make sure that I'm here. I'm in his wife is there, his brother is there. Like, let me give a tribute instead of just being all negative the whole round. And they loved it, you know, they gave me a good reception.
Found another way to win.
Yeah, you know, like, you know what I mean? In a sense though, seriously though, because like I said, like even in the tribute, it was more so of me just leaving a piece out there, because his family will be able to see that years later. You know, you can always say, people usually when you, especially in battle rap, usually when you die, or we in celebrities, anything, we kind of use it to make a bar out of. You know what I'm saying? Like a Tupac bar, to be like Tupac, you get the ball head, you die like Biggie. Like, we don't really never kind of pay homage. Like, we kind of use it to say something disrespectful in a sense, you know? So I didn't want to do that. Like I say, he was a friend of mine, and he's a big part of the culture. So I wanted to use that to like give a real tribute. Canada loved it. The family loved it. So like, I was good with that, man.
What was the crowd like out there in Canada?
Man, it was dope. Like, I ain't gonna lie, probably one of the best crowds I ever battled in front of.
Wow.
Like, they was receptive to every bar. They was really like, participating. You know, some places when you go, especially I'm battling somebody from their home, like you've seen in the Eazy battle, usually when you go to where somebody's from, it take a while for the crowd to want to give it to you because they're going for the home god.
Gotcha.
But Canada, like I say, like they were so static that I would be able to go there because they've heard for years, like Geechi would never be able to make it here.
Yeah.
So by me being there, it was just like, oh man, I'm gonna give it up for you. Like we don't know if you're gonna get to come back. So they showed love. That was probably one of the best crowds I ever battled in front of. Shout out Toronto, for real, for real.
Word. Who do you think has been your toughest opponent this year so far?
Man.
That Bad News
Bad
battle
News was a
crazy.
good one. Yeah.
Bad News.
I gotta say that Bad News, man. And then, like I say, like another shot that I was giving going to his home league. He battles on Bullpen. He's one of the faces of that league with John out of Atlanta. He's from the South. I had to go to his backyard and do that. It's another News out of Philly. Had to battle him in Philly, in the streets of Philly.
So do you like that? You like the Road Warrior?
I like to do that. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? So those would be two of my matches that I would say was real tough this year as far as like going to somebody's backyard and having to like, you know, snatch the respect. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the key to this, man? It's an art form, and I don't think it gets the full credit. Like, like you're about to battle this guy. How do you go about preparing for it? Like, can you take us into the process of how you prepare?
Yeah. So I mean, this is I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, this is the most draining, toxic energy like sport you can be in part of. Like, this is like boxing. Like, it take a lot out of you to do this. Like, because like you say I have a battle with somebody and I know what.
Let's say Bad News for example.
For example, in Atlanta coming up, and I got my kids' birthdays like a couple days before, all this type of stuff going on, our real life going on, but I gotta shut down. Think about this guy when I gonna write for him for 3 rounds. We talking 3 to 4, maybe 5-minute rounds each round. That's 15 minutes of material that we gotta memorize and go through flawless. We can't ever rap it again. We can't say something we said in the past battle. And it also has to rhyme. It gotta make sense. It gotta correlate. And it's time consuming. So like my process for the most part, as good as and great as I am, I'll be honest, like I'm probably one of the most last minute preparers in this. Like it be, cause I be doing so much. I got my own clothing line, I got my own podcast, I run other businesses. So it be like, sometimes I be like, man, I don't even feel like doing this. I be wanting to say no. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
you gotta find time.
But like I've been doing it so long, like it's like you know, muscle memory, kind of the same with your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like the repetitiveness. Like I've learned how to, like when it's time to cram in, like I can remember. I got photographic memory. Like, so once I done read something enough, I kind of know how to say it. So like mine is, once I write it down and my partners they'll be like, yo man, you own it. I got a whole team of people that call me and constantly make sure that I'm on top of my game. So like, it's not just me alone. I will say that I got a team that makes sure they hit me up like, yo, did you get your rounds ready? Is you ready? Like spit it, like practice it. So like when it come to crunch time, I kind of just make sure I lock in maybe like a full day or 2 to just dedicate it to making sure I'm like learning all my material, making sure that I'm ready for the crowd, ready for whatever is coming up. So I give myself at least that week of I cram, like cramming for a finals or something.
So do you write it first and then memorize it?
Yeah, write it and then memorize it. I write it and then memorize.
So how many bars is that you think like per round?
Man, we gotta be like, I'll say like a 16, it'd be like what, a minute or something. We probably like in the 60 bars around range, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, like, do you run lines by your team? Like, do they feed you lines or is it just all you?
Like nah, we can't feed each other lines just because, like, you know, that's frowned upon in this sport. Like, you know, like in the studio you could be in there like, hey yeah man, say this and you know and all that. But in this sport, like that's frowned upon, the ghostwriting. But what I do is like I do go over it. Like I'm part of one of the toughest teams with every effing bar. You know me, Rum Nitty, Danny Myers, JC, Miss Hustle, Av, like these are some of the best battle rappers in the world. So I do spar with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll spit my material. Like, say if I'm spitting it to Rum, he the type of tell me, like, I ain't gonna lie, I heard that before. Like, you shouldn't say that. So then I'll probably take it out. Like, he won't tell me what to say, but he'll give me something like, nah, that don't hit for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we kind of proofread, we spar with each other. You know what I mean? If it's a reference or something that I'm not familiar with, he could tell me, like, nah, that's why this makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So, mostly, like, my team is who I spar with. You know what I mean?
And then is the whole thing about researching this person and trying to unearth some stuff about the person, like the detective work side of it. Like, how does that work?
I really don't do that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of battlers, they dive deep into like who you went to elementary school with. And, you know what I'm saying? Your mama's first boyfriend. And I don't get too deep into that. Like, mine's be on the surface. Now, if it hit the net, I'm snatching it up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's battle rap. If it hit the shade room, you're going to hear it from me. I'm not going to go around calling your baby mama and asking, was you a good parent? Or calling your moms and see if you ate all your spaghetti. But me, I'm going to grab what's in the news or grab what's in battle rap culture, because so much happens in battle rap. It's such a culture within itself that people don't know. Like, it might be something that happened at an event that all the battlers know about. So we grab, that's why a lot of times they call it current event bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, you'll hear a lot of those bars because that's something that's in the news. You hear about, let's say, Keefy D situation, like that'll be something that's in the news, so somebody make a bar about these things. Like, that's kind of myself. Like, I grab what's kind of out there and make it more personal about my opponent. You know what I'm saying? I kind of try to attack their character.
So you speak to the viciousness of it too, like. You know, like, remember when Drake said with the push thing, you know, sometimes you go too far with this. Like, what's your take on that? Like, is it a thing where, like, you've been in battles, you feel like that person might have went too far? Like, how do you judge that?
I'm one of the more disrespectful battlers, so like they'll say I'm a hypocrite if I say it's going too far. But I feel like maybe disrespecting someone that's not here, like, you know what I mean? Like if I battled you and I heard your mom just passed and I know that, I feel like that's going too far. Like, there's no reason to get that personal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the bar it's gonna last forever on the internet, and it's not gonna mean that much. You gonna still get paid the same money. You could take that out. To me, that's going too far sometimes when you dive into death and things that really poke at other people's emotions, because it's not just you. You got family members and other people that love that. So for me, that's going too far. Besides that, I mean, even that has been done though in battle rap. I ain't gonna say it happened. People do that. They just,
and there's been incidents around that too.
There's been incidents around that, so it goes down. But for me, that would be my only thing that's too far. Other than that, it's kind of battle rap is like, the gloves is off. It's like a warrior sport. You gotta have tough skin when you get into this anyway. You gotta understand that, you know, people gonna say the worst of the worst about you. They gonna make up things. It's gonna be fake things. So you gotta kind of know how to just like roll with the punches. Like, if you're not ready for it, then you're not even you shouldn't even waste your time doing this, because the higher you get, the worse it's gonna get. You know what I'm saying?
I think one of your advantages too is the fact that you know how to freestyle.
Yeah.
And you can incorporate the freestyle into the written.
That's a fact.
Because, you know, your responses is like, how the hell did he just come up with this?
That's a fact. Because a lot of battlers don't bring that aspect no more. You know what I'm saying? Like the freestyle aspect. And I think coming from the West, we always kind of had to have that like freestyle ability. You know what I'm saying? And we got it in our own way. You know what I'm saying? It's not like everybody do it the same, but I've always been like that since a youngster. Like, I'm gonna be quick with it. Like, as soon as you say something, I'm trying to remember what he said and jump back. You know what I mean? You know, we call it rebuttaling in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of a way we score points. Like, if you said something against me and I was able to rebuttal it, then it's like, oh dang, everything you said kind of don't matter no more. Like, he took all that away. It's a few battlers who do that at a high level, like the DNAs, the Hollows, the Clips. You know, I'm fortunate to be one of them as well.
So we talked about the preparation. What's going through your mind as you enter a battle?
Man, I be ready. I'm gonna be honest. I be so ready for it to be over.
Really?
My mind be on some, man, please don't choke, don't mess up. Like, you don't, because like you said, you get one chance at it. There's no redo. It's not like I can say, stop, punch me in right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, just let me, you know, I pray before the battles, you know? So let me make sure I get through this material clean. I make sure that I deliver it the way that I wrote it, the way that I plan to deliver it. You know, I try to like zone. I really can't eat before a battle. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. Like, you know, I always think of that mom spaghetti throwing up. So I'll be like, before a battle, I'm like, ain't no way I'm finna get up here and throw up on stage. And we seen battlers throw up on stage and stuff like that, you know? So I'm like, I can't eat, you know what I'm saying? I got like, I don't smoke, drink, none of that. Like, before battles, none of that. Like, you don't see me drinking, smoking. I be as clear-minded as possible up there, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what's going through my mind, is just making sure I give the best performance, because at the level I've made it to now, I'm held to such a high standard that I'm critiqued with like a microscope. Like, any stumble, anything is, oh, he doing bad this one. Like, you know, it's like in basketball or something, you know, you're gonna hold LeBron to a different standard than you hold any average player. Like, he dropped 20 instead of 30 tonight. He had a bad game. So I look at the same way in battle rap. If I fall off just an inch, like, they gonna say I'm having a bad night. So I try to make sure I'm on top of it.
It's also interesting to me, how do you receive the bars against you, right? Like, how the person reacts. Like, you put your head down, you sip some water, you make, like, is there a set mindset of what you're gonna do when these guys are hailing on you? Like, or is it natural reaction?
Defense is a part of battle rap too. You know what I'm saying? Like, some dudes, you can visually see that it's affecting them when you saying stuff to them. You hear them like pouting or trying to talk to you around. You know what I'm saying? Mumbling or looking around like doing all that. You know, like me, I'm probably one of the better defensive battlers. I zone out. If anybody ask me, my head be down. I damn near don't even be listening. You know what I'm saying? Like only thing I'm listening for is something that I might need to rebuttal. Like, let me see if he got something that make the crowd go crazy, then let me see if I can rebuttal that. Other than that, I'm thinking about, all right, man, I can't wait for this over. I got like, well, how many more rounds he got? You know, I try to be as most professional as possible too, though, because that ruins the footage. A lot of the times when you talking through your guys' material or doing all of this, and now you got other stuff going on. Like for me, I try to make sure the material gonna come out as good as possible. The footage gonna come out, because that's what makes the views go up. If the battle is choppy on the arguing side or just looking bad, people not gonna want to watch it. So I try to make sure that that's not gonna be because of me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be up there arguing, and I don't really care what you say. You know what I'm saying? I don't even believe half the stuff they saying up there anyway. You know,
and why do you have to have so many people on stage, man?
Man, like that's just the aspect of the game that is just like, that's always been battle rap the streets.
Right. So
before it was on the stage, you know, they'd meet up on the corner. You're gonna bring all your homies, you bring all his homies. So we still got that much of it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't went that commercial to where we don't do that. You still bring all your partners, you bring all your partners. It's a respect thing. Like we let our people know, like this is just bars. We not coming here to harm nobody or start nothing. But like, nah, we gonna make it look good. Like, man, when he rapping, man, don't give him no love. Like stone face, make him feel that everything he's saying is weak. So that's pretty much the entourage thing, is to kind of just, you know what I mean, hold you down up there. You know what I'm saying? Hold you down.
Well, you had the world talking after this battle, Eazy The Block Captain. On Remy Ma's platform, Chrome 23.
Shout out Chrome 23.
Did you think the battle was gonna get that sort of reaction?
Man, I honestly did though. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, Eazy The Block Captain, he was on fire. One of the hotter battle rappers of the year, you know what I'm saying? Then, of course, you know where I'm at on my status of it. So this was a big battle coming into it already, you know what I'm saying? So then all the speculation surrounding the battle, everything like where it's going down at, who is he gonna talk about this? Do they got this going on? Like all the things around it made it even that much bigger. So even in the face-off, I was telling him like, man, y'all keep playing, we gonna go viral. Like I'm saying that to him in the face-off, like we gonna talk crazy up in here, you know what I'm saying? And he's saying like, yeah, I wanna go viral. So I think I didn't have the expectation that it'll go like how I did, but I did feel like it was gonna like make some noise, you feel me? But it probably over exceeded what I thought it was gonna do, you know what I'm saying? For real. Because
to me, like the last battle, I feel like that had that sort of mainstream attention was probably like the Loaded Lux Calico back in 2012.
When Jay-Z tweeted it and you gonna get this work, most definitely, I believe so. I think since then, battle rap has been big, but it haven't got that mainstream attention like Drake has been to the battles, you know, he sponsored battles, like he sponsored some of my battles. We've seen other celebrities there, but when they talk about it, like it don't really still go as far as it could go. I think this time it kind of just, you see people talking about it, people blogging about it, people, it's everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Radio stations playing it, you know what I mean?
I didn't feel hearing like your playback on Power 105 on
that was crazy right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I was still in New York when that was going on too, like, cause I didn't leave. I bought a one-way when I battled Eazy, so we was in Philly and New York for some days, like, and people hitting me up like, yo, they playing you on Power? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So, now that was a humbling experience, you know what I'm saying? Because I know they've talked about battle rap probably like you said, but nobody's ever played a whole round from somebody up there, you know what I'm saying? They done played my round before they played one of my songs, so, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a blessing, it's a start, you know?
I like that 2 a.m. Hollywood Hills
Thank you, man.
You got there, man.
Thank you.
But that's a challenge, right? It's a challenge for battle rappers to become recording artists that break that door down. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I think the challenge is because battle rap is a niche sport that your fans kind of want you to stay there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Be the king of that world.
Be the king of that world. It's like if you a athlete, say you play football, but you amazing at basketball, but you in the NFL, you can't go to the NBA because like, nah, man, you are quarterback. You might be able to dunk on everybody and make it over here, but they want you right here. This is what you do right here. We've seen athletes who've only a few who've done it, like the Bo Jacksons and Deons, and you know what I mean, seen Mike try, they wasn't letting him happen, you know, but it's the same with battle rap where you could put out consistently good music, but the fans is like, man, when your next battle? So like one of my challenges is to always try to make sure when I'm putting out the music that it's not battle rap music. I'm not trying to have battle rap diss records or battle rappy like punchline-y type songs. Like you said, 2 a.m. Hollywood Hills, more substance music. Like it's something that's talking to like my lifestyle, my struggles and things like that, to where the fans who do listen to it is like, okay, this don't sound like how he sound on stage. So I can be a fan of his music separate from his battle, but it's definitely a challenge, you know what I'm saying?
It's weird because like traditionally like rappers like Big and DMX, Jay-Z, Eminem,
from battle
they
rap.
all come from that battle rap. Like battle rap used to be like the conduit to get signed and to get on.
Yeah.
Right.
But it seems like somewhere along the lines, the narrative has changed.
Well, like when they come battle rappers, it's almost like he gives that side of him up. He becomes Eminem. He becomes something different, but that's still in him. You know, and we hit us with battle. And then sometimes they say the mainstream battles also do spike up interest in the battle scene, right? Because people remember, oh, it's about bars. It's about lyricism.
It's still the lyricism there. And then I think now, as of late, now you can actually make a career being a battle rapper. Like back then, like you had to battle to get signed because there was no money in battle rap. Now it's so much different money in battle rap. The top tier battlers can make like, you know what I mean, 200,000 to 300,000, 400,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even more. You depending on how many battles they do and how much they get paid per battle. You know what I'm saying? So you got cats like that that's up in there like making $1 million off of battle rap. They like, I'll just stick right here. You know? So I think that's kind of where kind of the change went, where a lot of the top tiers wasn't trying to get signed anymore. They were signing battle deals and things like that.
And a lot of times with battle rap, we don't think of battle rapper from Compton, California, right?
Nah,
and then I seen some interviews you were talking about, like speaking to that, like that journey of like almost you changing your mind state that if you getting $1,000 a battle, it's cheap money, whatever, blah, blah. But if I get focused on that, I'm gonna elevate.
Yeah, that's how I come. Like you say, I'm coming from Compton. I done been in jail. I done been shot. I've been through all these different hardships. So like when I'm telling my partners, like, yeah, they give me $1,000 and he telling me like to rap, like what? Like for 9 minutes, they gonna give you $1,000 real quick. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, he telling me like, well, you crazy? I rap every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like go up there and do that. So like, you know, that I kind of owed that to myself and to the people that believed in me, because it's like we do a lot more worse things that can land you in a lot worse places for less, you know? So so for me, it's like, yo, you know what? Like if this is something that can help, and it did change my life too, I will say that. Battle rap period, you know what I'm saying? Done put me in, you know what I mean, look where I'm at now, you know what I'm saying? Just put me in different places in my life, took me to Canada, took me to these different platforms, you know? So I'm glad I did take that advice, you know what I'm saying, and continue to do it. And that's why I said earlier, it's a light year from, because once he said that, it clicked. And I'm like, every time they hit me up for a car, put me on there. It didn't matter where it was at, how much they was paying. Like I was just signing the contract. Like, I'll be there. New York, I'm there. Atlanta, there. Houston, there. Like we going. I'm staying on planes. It kept me away from the trouble. I was missing things. Like I had homies who passed away in the midst of all of this type of stuff, you know? Like, but I'm blessed to say that some of those times I missed those things, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll be somewhere I just was at, and now I'm in Houston, and then I hear about a friend passing away, you know? So it definitely like saved my life in more than one way.
Well, sticking to the business of battle rap, you know, like it has evolved over the last 20 years, and it's like dozens of leagues now, right? Yeah. And you even have your own league, right?
Yeah, the Riot. Yeah.
Right. Can you speak to that? Like why, you know, a lot of people are having their own platforms?
Yeah, because like you said, the business of it, now you're starting to see that it's such a big like subculture where people are still tuned in. You're getting millions of views, so that means millions of people that's watching this. So of course, as a battler, you want to get signed and somebody can give you the money to do it, that's fine. But also like betting on yourself, you know? So that's what we did with the Rod. It's like we kind of betting on ourselves. We put our own money up. We book some of the same battlers that get booked on other platforms, and then also give opportunity to some of the newer guys who might not get those looks. And then we bet on ourselves. We just threw an event like about a month ago. We had pay-per-view. We did good numbers on the pay-per-view. We did good numbers at the door. We was in Atlanta, King of Diamonds. It was just a good vibe. It was something different, you know? So I think in the business of it now, most people are kind of looking at it like, let's see, is it another way? Most battlers are trying to see another way to get money from it. You know what I'm saying? Without having to battle. You've seen John, like I said, the Bullpen, he got his own league. We knew Arsenal had his own league. So it's a few of them who've tried to step down and do different things and give other opportunities, because now it's so many battlers, you need more leagues. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody not gonna make it to URL. It's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? And everybody not gonna get on the RBE stage or the King of the Dot stage. So the more leagues out there, the more opportunities to find new stars and to help build this culture up.
Are some people like exclusive to this one league, or is like
to my league,
or just in general?
Yeah. Some people are. Yeah, some people sign exclusive contracts to I know for sure the URL. I'm pretty sure some people sign exclusive contracts to King of the Dot or things like that. But with the Riot, we don't necessarily do like where you can only battle with us. We do things like where we can help like build you up. Like we'll help build you up. Like if you just stay kind of loyal. You know what I mean? You continue to show us that you want to be on this platform, and we grow through the process. You might get a smaller name on this one, and you get a better name on this one, and so forth and so on. But it's not saying like we don't sign you to where you just can't move around.
I saw you teasing something where you may be cooking something up with Floyd Mayweather.
Oh yeah, man, definitely, man. he's big into this battle rap culture, you know what I'm saying? So, and I seen he said it on the Hip Hop Is Real thing, but it was an opportunity that someone had led me towards and let me know, like, yo, he was interested in doing something big with battle rap. And, I hope everything goes the way it's supposed to go, though, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, can't speak too much on it, but definitely, man, I know that when I battled, who was it? Shotgun Suge. We did an event in Vegas, and Floyd helped sponsor that. I think I won one of the champions of the nights, and got an extra $6,000-7,000 from Floyd at that event. So he definitely is in tune with battle rap and knows what's going on with it, most definitely.
Are there any of the recording rappers that be hitting your line on the side and giving you your props?
Yeah, man, for sure, man. It's so many, too many to even name, but I got so many of them that tap in and show me love. Like if you follow my career, you see I bring a lot of them to my neighborhood, and they come reach out to my homeboys, and come back, get back to the community. I got records with a lot of dope rappers as well. You know what I'm saying? Me and Peasy got a record that's going crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right now, that's called Is It? You know what I'm saying? That's doing numbers, but definitely, man. I'll say it's so many, man. I just was telling somebody the other day. Rollo Rodriguez hit me up, man, after the Eazy battle. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting him back, like, man, I just was listening to that. Who this for? So it was just dope, to see different artists that you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? He probably didn't know I listened to his music. I didn't know he watched my battle. Right. So, that was just one of many, though. You know what I'm saying?
I think he pulled up on the legend Raekwon.
Definitely pulled up on Raekwon. Ray was in Toronto. The guy battled Hollahan, he actually hosted the battle when Hollahan battled Cortez. So it was kind of like a full circle moment right there. You know what I'm saying? I done met so many legends from when I battled Moog. Me and Busta Rhymes gained the rapport in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? And so many more artists that I even from Chicago, my guy Tay Savage making a lot of noise right now. We locked in through just music and different things. So it's just a lot of artists that I definitely say since I've been battling, have reached out to me, from the Drakes all the way down to up and coming battlers who up and coming rappers who done reached out and told me they rock with me. So yeah, it's a blessing.
As far as the money goes, how does that work? Do they command the same purse as a traditional rap performance?
It depends. For certain, everybody's price range is different. So let's say it's certain matchups where I can get about $50,000 for that one battle. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know it's certain traditional rap performances who do shows where they can get 50 for a show. And there's some who don't. I think it was a big argument on the internet with Say Cheese or something. They were saying there was some people saying that battle rappers get paid $200 in a sandwich or something. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Not you no more. Nah, and I think Hitman showed a back end where he got $500,000 or something on one of his, So it's definitely money in there. And I think the misconception was that it's where they was arguing, just saying that they make more or make less. I don't think it's really a big difference. I think the difference is a regular, artist who does shows. Maybe he can do his shows from Thursday all the way to Sunday performing the same song. But let's say he get 10,000 a show. By his fourth show, he done made 40 bands. You know what I'm saying? Say he getting 50. By his fourth, he done made 200. You know what I'm saying? Within a battle rapper, we do maybe a show a month. You know what I'm saying? Maybe two. You know what I mean? On a good month. So if I'm getting 50 for that show, I done made 100 for that month with doing less work, less shows. You know what I'm saying? As far as that, so it kind of balances itself out. Just depends on the level you at in both. You know what I mean? Because there's rappers who out there doing shows for 200, and it's battlers who out there doing shows for $200.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So it just depends on the level you at. You know what I'm saying?
But the challenge for y'all is y'all can't repeat the material, you said.
That's the biggest challenge. We can't repeat the material. We can't.
All them damn bars, they just go.
They gone after that. We can't hold the mic up right here and let the crowd see it with us for the whole night.
It's the opposite of the rapper, because the rapper, he's doing the song over and over again and getting his bag.
Yeah, so there's probably is it's way easier for them, you know what I'm saying, to make their money. But and in the same time though, everybody can't make a hit. So you know what I'm saying, they earned that right to make that money too.
But it's dope to see you and Rem Nitty, y'all split that $150,000 purse that Drake put up, right?
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's my guy, man. My brother outside of rap, man. He somebody that I really rock with and respect, you know what I'm saying? So that was a no-brainer, you know what I mean? Once, and for the people who didn't know, we already knew we was gonna split the money before, it got there. We already came with that idea, look, we not finna cheat the culture. I'm gonna try to kill you up here, you know what I'm saying? I want you to do the same. We got Drake standing up here, we want people to make sure their money's is worth up here, but we gonna split it. We ain't, you know what I mean? You say, we not that hard for money to where it's I gotta walk away with 150 and then watch my boy that I'm saying you my brother walk away with 0.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got kids, you got mouths to feed. You earned your place to be up here. You know what I'm saying? I actually won the votes. You know what I'm saying, for that battle. You know what I'm saying? And he won the fan vote. I think it would have been like a split decision where I won 3-2 altogether. You know what I'm saying? But none of that even mattered. We never even let the votes get out or nothing. We kind of just hurried up and we splitting the bread. You know, because people like would have something to say back then, like, oh man, he split, he won, he gave We didn't get nobody nothing. We already had it decided that we was gonna go out there, put on the show, give a great battle, and split that bread.
You remember your first paid show?
Yep, my first one was my first one, honestly, I was in jail for it too. I was finna battle Av. I got locked up. They was bailing me out. I was finna get bailed out, and then they hit me, and they was like, "Yo, that's why my promo for it was like fresh out of jail, out on bail, California dreaming, or whatever." You know what I'm saying? And I got paid like $500. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
For Av, but I put on a classic. You know what I'm saying? I remember that was one of my best battles. You know what I'm saying? But like that stuck to the hunger. Like I gotta do something. Like, cause I ain't trying to be going back to jail. I'm like, man, like let me put on the show. I don't know if I'm finna go back or what. So that was $500. It was like my first paid everything, like, you know what I'm saying? And that meant something though back then, and that's still one of my highest viewed battles. One of my biggest battles. That was in California. That was one of their first big events they did in Cali. It was disaster. It was on the card. Tay-Rod, they had a lot of people there, So yeah, my first pay was like $500. And so I think after that, I maybe was like getting $1,000. It was like a whole year where I was probably getting like $1,000 and $1,200 and $1,500. You know what I'm saying? So to be where I'm at now, it means everything. Cause like I ain't have it easy. I had to really like go through the gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? Like besides that Av battle, all my other battles was on the road. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to other people's backyards and other people's cities. You know what I mean?
So most battles, is it clear declared who the winner is? Because a lot of times it's rooted in debate, right? Who really won, right? It's almost sort of the fans' feedback after the people.
Unless it's judged, it's like an opinionated sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got clear cut, like you can watch battles like my last one with Eazy. It's clear cut I won. You know what I'm saying?
Is it 3-0 or 2-1?
3-0 don't be the question, right? But like it's definitely battles where it's like really debatable though, where the fans are split and they argue about it. But then it's some that's like, even though it's an opinionated sport, everybody kind of like, man, this guy won. You know what I'm saying? We ain't arguing about it, but yeah, like that's the good thing about battle rap. Like even if you lose 9 times out of 10, it's not judged, so they gonna get on camera and say they won anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Is that part of the allure to you?
That's part of the allure.
There's controversy. Like
there's always a controversy.
Like a boxing decision.
It's always a controversy. Like afterwards, they gonna come out there like, man, they was hating, man. I feel like I got it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they said. So that's what. I think that's what keeps the fans intrigued too, though, because they can always go for their guy. You know what I mean?
And do you think the guy, like it's always one guy goes first? Like you stay the same positions, right? Does the guy that go last have the advantage, like a baseball team where you get to?
It depends though. Sometimes, a lot of times people do think that, but depending on how the battle goes out, if you can snatch that crowd early by going first and get them on your side, and then now you got the other guy on defense. Sometimes that works.
I thought the block captain went for it.
That's how I felt like.
I thought that was his strongest round. I think he came out strong.
He tried to put my back against the wall.
He tried to Eminem you. I know you're going to talk about this.
Exactly.
And why do you think that didn't work? And you still were able to get that off?
Because like I feel like in this battle, though you saying it, this is what they coming to hear though. Sometimes it's like, okay, you can say that, but people don't, that's not what they wanted to hear. So it's like, but this is the battle, like, nah, because you're going to get it anyway. Like, I know you're going to talk about this. Yeah, that's what we want to hear. We want to hear him talk about it. So that's one of the things where I felt like he tried to stop it early, but it was like I never really spoke on any of it that he said that I was going to speak on until very the end. So by the end, he said it so early in the battle that the fans even probably forgot that he like said that. You know what I'm saying? Because the first 2 rounds, I'm more so attacking him and then doing different things. I'm not really attacking none of the rumor things. Yeah, I'm going to the body the whole fight before that. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm attacking everything else before I go to the chin. So it definitely, you know what I mean? Definitely.
And it's a 3-round battle. And in the final round that has everyone talking, you implied that Remy had an affair with Eazy.
Yeah.
Were you at any point concerned about maybe you're creating a narrative?
Yeah. I mean, not really, because even she said it. I just grabbed what was out there in the blog. I seen something that was in a blog saying that. Like me personally, man, I don't think her and Papoose are on any type of rocks. You know what I'm saying? I'm going on record saying I would think that they have happily married family. But in battle rap, Hey, say y'all having a problem? Oh, we gonna say y'all having a problem. You dig what I'm saying? That's how it goes in this sport. When you fall down, we gonna say you got knocked down. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you lose your chain, we gonna say your chain got stolen from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you do. You grab something that's on the surface and you dive a little deeper into it. You know what I'm saying?
Just exploit it.
It's exploited a little bit. And I think Eazy played into it because of some of the things he said in his round that kind of opened it up for what I said to make it sound even more like validated. You know what I'm saying? If he had countered it maybe differently, it probably would have been a different reaction from the people too. So yeah, like she took it like a champ. You know, like I said, she's been in battle rap before me. She was a battle rapper, you know what I'm saying? She came from battle rap, you know, so she knows what this sport is about, Fight Club, you know, she knows what this sport is about. She know that narratives will be painted, that anything that's out there that's on the surface to be talked about is gonna be talked about. So I think people was kind of shocked, like, man, why is she just standing there not saying this? Like, she's not in the battle. She really can't say nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's just the host. She has to sit there,
and
you
the
know
boss,
what I mean?
it's her league.
This is her league. She has, you know, it's like she can't be biased on either side, you know, she has to play the middle. So that was what made the battle even great. So like I said, I didn't think about it creating like a narrative on them personally, because like he said things about me that wasn't true. He said a whole bunch of things about me that wasn't true, but it's like I gotta sit there and listen to it. You know what I'm saying? The whole time. Everything you can say, I can't say nothing about it. I don't even get on interviews afterwards disputing it, because I know you just making up whatever you had to get for your round. You know what I'm saying? And same with me, it was, something was out there, I poked at it, you know what I'm saying? I think I just did it so creatively and in a way that nobody else thought that it would have been done. Because he battled somebody before me, battled Disaster before me, who poked at the same rumor, poked at the same things from the blog, but he didn't do it the same way I did it, you know? So it didn't hit as hard, you know what I'm saying?
And it's up to like 1 million views now on YouTube. But
exactly.
I saw you bigging up Remy because that's where her league is. You said another battle she had was successful. What was the other battle?
He battled Hitman Holla earlier in the year. That's about 2-3 million views.
Eazy The Block and
Hitman Holla. So she has a new league. This is probably about her second year doing this. It was an all-female league at a point in time. Now she's integrating and got male battlers over there, and it's starting to take off. You know what I'm saying? Like she had me, she's had Rum Nitty, she's had Eazy, Hitman, she's had some of the bigger male battlers. Then she's got the Miss Hustles, the Couture's, some of the bigger women battlers have been over there. So like her league is growing. I think this battle even helped with that, because now you got so many outside eyes. They hearing about battle rap, but they hearing about Chrome 23. Chrome 23. So now they clicking in. Her subscribers is going up. You say that battle hit 1 million views in like 5 days. You know what I'm saying? 5-6 days. That's record time. And not many battles hit millions that fast. It takes months. You know what I'm saying?
So they had a list of the biggest ones. You was like, we about to be number one.
We about to be number one in like, 5 days. And the one that's at the top was up there since January. You know? So, you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely, man. Like I think it did what it was supposed to do.
And she approached you afterwards jokingly, said, "You called me a bitch again. You ain't getting your back in."
That's a fact. She had bars for me. I'm like, man, but and I told her, I think now we got a battle or something. Like I feel like I gotta get in the ring with her, because I didn't get no bars back. But like I say, she a good sport and she come from it. So and I did get my back end though. You know what I'm saying? Let's be clear. The back end the back end came. Salute to Remy for that. But like and that's just her character. Like, man, we good friends. You know what I'm saying? She's always, I'm good friends with her, man. Good friends with her husband, man. Pap, like, it's always been good. I ain't had no ill intent with them after the battles in all respect since then. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, she came up jokingly, spit some bars about it, and went on about her business. You know what I'm saying? And we got a good working relationship. I should be on Chrome 23 again. You'll see me back on her league, probably against somebody else. You know what I'm saying? She might not stand right there next time though. You know, it might move out the way. But that's about it. Like, you know what I mean? For real.
You jokingly said you might have to battle, but you do battle women.
I do.
Like,
I do.
I was gonna ask that. Do men and women battle? Is that right?
Yeah. You did one this year.
Yeah, I did one this year. And we do. It doesn't happen as much as male on male battles and women on women battles, but it's starting to become a thing again. And I think her league is one of the more places where it can be spearheaded even bigger, because like you say, she battles. So she knows how to get the women to look their best, and she puts a lot into her league. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen her have stylists out there to make the women look their best. She's bringing them in there, and afterwards they're doing interviews on Joe Budden. They're doing interviews on the news and different things of that nature. So she kind of brings a bigger light to it. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely battle her though if she wanted to get in the ring with me. But as far as me battling women, I battle Jazz the Rapper. I battle Casey J. I battled Coffee Brown, so I battled a few women. Yeah,
female rappers too. I don't give a fuck, boo.
Anybody can get it. You know me? Anybody, you know what I'm saying? These hands, they fit anybody.
Is the prep the same? Like,
nah, the prep it's the same, but in a sense it is different, because how do I explain it? Because it's not like it's a physical sport. So the women brain work just like a male brain. So it's not like, you got any advantage rapping wise, but it's definitely like just a different preparation, because certain things that I can say to a male, I can't say to a woman that's gonna be, you know what I mean, the same. You know what I mean? Like certain bars about like if I could tell a guy like, man, you don't know about this, you don't know about that. It's a woman, she ain't supposed to know about it. So some of the things that I have to attack them on is like a different attack route, you know. So yeah, it's definitely difficult. And I think it's difficult for them too though, because the things that they can attack other women on, they can't attack us with. So it's definitely a challenge. But like I think those make for the best battles when both are prepared, you know what I'm saying? You get like a lot of classic men and women battles for sure.
What do you think makes a good battle?
That's a good question. That's a good question. All things considered, the crowd being participating, you know, being in tune with the bars, being in tune with what's going on. Both battlers off the top have to be prepared. No choking, no stumbling. They have to come fully prepared, ready to rap, ready to put on a show. What else would make the battle just over the top good? Like you say, we got the crowd and you got both battlers participating well. I think the stage, depending on the battle, because sometimes a big stage for certain battles don't make sense. You know, like you got 3,000-4,000 people in there, but this battle needed a smaller room. So I think depending on like the location of the battle makes the battle as well. Like you're starting to see battle rap going back to more of a smaller room setting because it's more gritty, more grimy. People are listening more, and the bigger stage is kind of more theatrical. You know what I'm saying? Where the bar is hitting, but performance is key more than what you're saying. So I think location depends on it too. Like some battles need the big stage. You get two big performers, got good vocal projection, you might need that big stage. But some dudes who are more aggressive, more witty with the pen, more wordsmith, that enclosed environment for the fans to be there makes better. So battlers, location, and the fans make a great battle.
I also think it's interesting that you got to deliver the bars loudly too, like, with force. Like
lose your voice up there, man.
Turn me up.
Hey, can y'all hear me in the back? All right, bro.
How was that in the beginning to adjust to getting comfortable doing that?
Man, and that was another reason, man. Rest in peace to Past Day. When I battled Sue Surf, that was like one of my first big stage battles. Free Sue Surf, Free the Wave. One of my first big, and I was losing my voice that battle. You know, if people watch that battle, by like the second round, my voice is hoarse, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still gotta, I can't make no excuse that we already on stage now, it's lit. I gotta keep screaming and yelling and trying. And I remember afterwards, Past Day pulling me to the side, like, man, you know, like, man, like, make sure people on your side not really smoking, like that smoke probably affecting you. And, you know, drink some tea beforehand, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, try to get you in like a full night's rest, you know, before them battles, because your voice all you got. Like, you lose your voice in battle rap, you know, you lose the battle, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to project, especially in these big stages. So, yeah, like that was something to adjust to early, because a lot of people can't rock those big stages. Like it's only like a handful of battle rappers who are good on the big stage, like with everybody in the building, when you gotta make sure the person from the front of the stage all the way to the back can react the same way as the people on the stage and make sure that line hits them. Like it's not too many, and it takes your vocal projection, it takes the way that you say it, the way you delivering it, knowing how to walk them into a line. Like all of that it takes a skill in itself. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a challenge for me at first, but you know, I'm here to say I became like one of the top dogs on that big stage. For sure.
You go. Before you start a battle, do you kind of read the crowd and feel like you know who's on whose side?
Yeah, for sure. When you're on that road, you definitely looking in there. Like I say, the road games is the toughest because you pretty much know nobody in there for you, but you looking for that one person that's like, yo, Geechi, you the man. Now you rapping to him all night, like, come on, bro, like get the person next to you to cheer, and now we got everybody. You know, it's like the wave. You know what I'm saying? you get one person to start it. That's the trickle effect. So you know, like on that road you kind of do that, but like when you at home, you kind of know like. A home game is a little easier because you know the people are there for you. So like you gonna feed off that energy a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, man, in that crowd is the goal is to just get somebody to get the cheering going, and then once you get that energy, like they're gonna ride you all the way, you know what I mean?
Has battle rap been like a great tool in keeping your composure and patience, because you know you got another grown man yelling and spitting in your face, hot breath, and you just have to just stand there and take it?
Man, that's I'm telling you this right now, we hate doing that. Like in life, it has helped you with composure, but still, even to this day, you be up there like, bro, why do I gotta sit here and let somebody, like, it gotta be another way to get this money, you know what I'm saying? I gotta sit here and get yelled at, hear him call me all these names for 30 minutes. That's why I said earlier, it's so toxic and draining, but it do help with that though. Like, you know, you learn to just block out anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially in the entertainment, you gotta know that like even the biggest celebrities, man, they make a post and in the comments, 90% of them is trolls, people saying the most negative stuff about them. They post their kids and people saying negative stuff about them. So I think battle rap kind of prepares you for that, where it's like, man, I don't even look into the comments. I don't never read a YouTube comment after a battle. You know what I'm saying? I don't,
right.
Really? As many as people that's probably saying I'm doing good as 1,000 people in there just clowning you. You know what I'm saying? So you just learn to just have that tough skin, go out there, lay the performance on the line, and go to the next one. You know what I'm saying? You don't really get too involved in what the people saying.
But it has to be great for like real life instances, like if you get in an argument on the street or something like that.
Like, oh yeah, man, I ain't listen to nothing you talking about, man. I already heard the worst. Before. Like, nothing you can say on the street gonna affect me at all.
Right, you learn not to take things personal.
Right. Most definitely.
Absolutely. Let's go back a little bit to where you're from, your origins. Like you're from Compton, California.
Compton, California, man. Compton, California, the west side of Compton. Grew up on a Mather Street. You know what I mean? It's I'll say the area is Nutty Block, so everybody know that, you know what I'm saying, as far as the gang area. But I went to Caldwell Elementary, Walton Middle School, Compton High School, Cesar Chavez continuation. You know, even did a little bit of community day, you know, probation school out there. So I've been pretty much every school in Compton that was on my side of town. You know what I'm saying? I went to all of them, played sports in Compton, you know, did everything, man. Played for one of the local gyms, Double Rock Gym, played basketball over there, you know, so like I'm really like somebody that's from there for real, not made up, not a gimmick, not, you know what I mean?
It's funny because I was talking to LA Fred. He's like, LA people always let you know that they're really from LA.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? because you kind of got to, because you get a lot of people that, you know, that portray these areas and these images, and, you know, just to make money or to exploit these backgrounds and things like that. And us, we take pride in that because we trying to get out of that. Like we don't even want to portray these images. Like you be a millionaire, then you trying to show us that you gangster. We trying to not be gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what we want, but we just knowing that the lifestyle that we came around, we seen all of that, we was around it. So, you know, it's a blessing. Like you said, I got so many friends that didn't get a chance to make it past the age of 18, or, you know what I'm saying? Some ain't make it past 14, you know? So like to be here now at the age I am and be able to still, you know, be just breathing, you know, and free, you know, that's a blessing. So for me, like, yeah, man, coming from Compton, that's why it's so much talent in that small area. People act like, you know, you've heard about it all over the world, but this is you can drive through the whole city of Compton in 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Then you be done. You go this way, that way, you out of there. You know what I'm saying? You gone. Like, it's not a huge city, you know, it's not heavily populated like some like Los Angeles is a big city. Like Compton is in LA County, but very small. So a lot of us, you know, just our talent was able to get us there. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar's and the, you know, the Venuses, Serena Williams, you know, the people that made a way from out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it inspired more people like myself and the younger generation to show what they can do. You know what I'm saying?
Growing up, what music were you tapped into?
I listen to all music though. Like I was a West Coast fan. Don't get it twisted. I'm off the Snoops. I'm off the Pacs. I'm off all of that. But like I listen to a lot, man. I'm listening to Scarface. I'm listening to Dipset, Cameron. I'm listening. Like I just was into bars. I was just into just real rap. Like I was listening to No Limit Soldiers when they came out. Like it was hot to me. The Hot Boys. Of course, I was raised off the Hot Boys. My first CD I bought physically was Lil Wayne, Block is Hot. You know what I'm saying? Like BG, you know what I mean? One of my favorite rappers. You know what I mean? From Glad He's Out. Like, so like, yeah, I was listening to everything. I'm not one of them dudes to be like, man, I was only listening to, you know what I'm saying, West Coast. Like I'm listening to everybody, all regions. Every region I was listening to.
But it worked out for you because you went to Grambling State, right?
Yeah, went to Grambling State, man. I did a year there at Grambling State, which was dope for me, man. You know what I mean? That was one of the dopest experiences. That's where I really got introduced to a lot of other South music too. Like, you know, like we listening to, they putting me on to all the Boosie and Webby at that time, you know, when I went there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm coming back to the crib like, yeah, man, we out there, man, play this right here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? So that also, like you say, it helped me because I kind of was already in tune with a lot of Southern music, you know what I mean?
So when did like battle rap come attract to you? Was it like of the DVD era or?
Yeah, the DVD era. I was watching Reed Dollaz. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the dudes that I watched do that, you know what I mean, at a young age, man. Just seeing somebody like that being young and chewing dudes up, you know what I mean? Like, pause, you know, where needed. But like that was fire to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that whole Philly rap scene, the New York rap scene with the T-Rexes and the Murder Mooks. You know, like I used to watch that. I even watched Fight Club though. Like I'm talking the Serious Jones, Jen battles. I was watching that old Solo on there and the Remy and Lady Luck. I watched all those battles, you know. So I just was in tune with battle rap as a youngster. Like I think it was always dope to me. It was something I was always into.
Right. When did you realize that you had the skill to get into it?
I used to battle like in the hood with my homies, but just like only my people to know. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy Eli the Mayor, he would be battling like people to know. Like he'd battle people at school. He'd be like chewing dudes up, like going crazy. Me, it was something I just play with a little bit, you know. So I never really like took battling serious I'll say like 2014 or something, I just had an opportunity to like do like a battle on the street somewhere. And they're like, I'll give you $100, you battle some dude like on some freestyle stuff. And we just went up there, did it. And then I'm like, all right. Then my guy KP, like, which is with me with the Riot now, offered me a chance to do another battle, like a real battle. Like, yo, it's gonna be recorded on camera. It was just something we showed up to do. I wasn't even taking it serious, but people actually liked it and took a liking from it. And then I ended up like moving on like with it and getting seen by Norbs and coming to New York and you know so forth and so on with that. Like then it took off from there. So I say like it's 2023. My first major battle was 2017, so I'm about 5-6 years in and done did more than probably people who've been doing this 20-30 years. You know what I'm saying?
Call you a legend killer, right?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the fastest growth in this though. Like, you know, I had the fastest growth in this. I've battled Loaded Lux, Murder Mook. People don't even been in here 20-30 years, don't even got them on their resume. You know, those is two dudes, like I just said, I watched growing up. You know, they've been doing this so many years. I've battled all those guys. I won 3 Champion of the Years, which is the highest accolade you can get as far as like United States battle rap. I won 3. It's only been 6 that have been given out. And in the other years, I was in the top 5 or something. You know what I'm saying? So I've done that. I'm talking about main event after main event. I've brung back battle rap to the West Coast on a higher level, you know, like Shout Out Disaster, Rum Nitty, Danny Myers, Daylight, but I brung it back to where people kind of respected it and looked at it like for what the West was, because we kind of had a backpack looking culture before I came in. Then I gave it more of that substance, the street feel that people was missing. Like, okay, this is an authentic West Coast dude rapping West Coast stuff, but he's able to keep up with the lyricism of the dudes on the East, and he's able to mirror and relate to the people on the Midwest and the South. So I think I definitely like made so many headways in this to where it's like in this short period of time, like it's a lot of people that like tell me I'm the best of all time or Mount Rushmore, you know, and that mean a lot because like you say, it's dudes who've been doing this so long and don't even get them accolades. So 6 years in to make this headway, man, you know, it's definitely dope for me.
6-year journey.
What does Geechi Gotti's Mount Rushmore look like? You can include yourself too.
Yeah. Okay, if I put myself on there.
Not all 4 spots.
Not all 4 spots. I was gonna say it's me. But honestly, if I put myself on there, it'll be myself. Like I always say, I don't be wanting to be myself, put myself, because I feel like I got my own lane.
Even better,
you know
better.
What I'm saying? Like what I did in the 6 year span. Yeah, I got my own. I'm over here. I got the Gotti Rushmore. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here by myself. Boom. But my 4 would be Hitman Holla, off impact and views alone. Like I'm gonna say off views alone. Like it don't have to be skill set or nothing. He's literally got some of the most views off every platform. You know what I'm saying? He's done everything in this. We talking about punching and just being somebody who punch your head off and revitalize and restructure the way battle rap is done today. Rum Nitty. Rum Nitty changed the way battle rap is today. Like everybody that's coming up punching is trying to punch the way Rum Nitty punches. You know what I mean? They set up their bars the way he set up his bars. If we talking impact alone, it would probably be Sue Surf. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of battle rap, he's one of the most influential battle rappers. His music has even made headways. You know what I'm saying? So he's got the impact of probably more than anybody in the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like people all over the world know who he is through his music and his battling. And then I would say Tay-Rock. You know what I'm saying? As far as like consistency, like being like #1 on Smack for all them years, being able to main event, and he's still giving shots to this day, like, and he don't take a break. Like he's probably had more battles than me this year, and he been doing it longer than me. You know what I'm saying? I would say those 4 right there, impact wise, Mount Rushmore wise, like everything wise, it would be those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like for this generation, you know.
Okay.
If you go older, of course, you can go to Luke. You can go, you know what I mean, Lux, Mook, Disaster, Avert. You know what I'm saying? Like that'll be the top 4 all time. You know what I mean? But for impact and everything that it is, it gotta be it's definitely gotta be Rum. It gotta be Hitman. Gotta be Rock. Gotta be Surf. You know what I'm saying?
Word up. And you got your own music we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Out of Nowhere too.
Yeah.
Are you happy with the response to that?
Man, definitely happy with the response to that, man. Like a lot of people rocking with the songs on there, man. Rocking with the songs on there. Get a lot of play from it out here, man. Like you go to these local spots, people playing it in the streets, you know. So I'm definitely happy with it. I'm working on an album right now. It's finna drop, called Gotti. Got a lot of production on there from my guy Jay Nari, man. Sorry, Jay Nari's all over that. Got Larry making all the hits on there as well. THX also got some joints on there, man. I got some dope features on there, man. From Peasy to RJ. Got Sue Surf on there. Got Bino on there. You know, we got a lot of dope records on there. So that's really what I'm focusing on right now. Just getting that rollout for that album to let people know, like, you know, like I'm doing this music. I just dropped a video, Letter to the Block.
Right, to the Block.
You know what I'm saying? That's going crazy. A lot of people being real receptive to the video and the message of the song that's on the album. So that's really what I've been on, man, in this bag of just trying to like turn them like into the music, like you know what I'm saying, like let them see, like you know, y'all tuning in right now, so let me show you what else I really do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I done already ran through the battle rap game, so it's like it's overdue to kind of like get this music off the ground right now.
Well, out of nowhere, you had a line too that stood out to me. You said, "Your only regret is that you didn't meet Nipsey."
Man, that's a fact. Like, and I had opportunities too. So like, I only could regret that on myself. Shout out my guy J-Rock, who was one of his bodyguards. You know what I'm saying? One of his bodyguards. They had a show, I want to believe it was like Riverside or something, and it was with T.I. or it was something going on. And he like invited me like, "Yo, Nip." Cause I had music I was playing back then. I gave Rock one of my stuff, like, man, play this. And he like, man, Nip mess with that song. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He rock with that record, you feel me? And I'm talking about, I've been grinding so long that I remember going to the Chris Shaw store, I done ran into Black Sam and dropped CDs off, things of that nature. And then we got mutual partners. Like I know cats that's out of the neighborhood where Nipsey is from. And like he likewise, he know cats out of the neighborhood where I'm from. We just didn't get a chance to, you know, do that. Like, yo, my name is, and get that kind of bond. So that's one of my biggest regrets, cause he an icon. You know what I'm saying? And he definitely like changed the game for West Coast rap, changed the game for like young street dudes that's trying to like better themselves. I think his message was clear on that, like, you know, more so than the music, just, you know, just trying to like educate yourself. You know, he did a lot of educating, you know, and in more ways than just the music. But I think the music was the spearhead, because if you see somebody that look just like you, the big change, you know, the braids, that look like a typical street LA dude, but he's talking something that you need to hear. You're more receptive to the information than somebody that's don't look nothing like you trying to tell it to you. You know what I'm saying? So his impact is still gonna live on. You know what I mean? Through the music, through the streets. So yeah, that was probably one of my biggest. Like I say, issues. Like, man, I know, like, you know, because even the Letter to the Block song, everybody in the comments like, oh my God, I love to hear Nipsey on that. You know what I'm saying? So like, salute to the people that, you know, that hear the music and it reminds them of, bro, you know what I mean? I feel like I got my own sound, my own style, but I definitely respect, you know what I mean, him to the utmost. So his music did play a part in my career as well.
And before the end of the year, we got another battle lined up, right? Gods of the Arena 9.
Yeah, man. Definitely got some more going up, man. In New York, shout out Lex Luthor, you know what I'm saying? They got a league called I Battle that's out of like Staten, like upstate New York, where they do a lot of events up there. I got a battle coming up in Chicago too, where it's a lot of California cats flying to Chicago to do a Chicago versus LA event. I'm doing a one-rounder there, but a lot of the other local California guys that's on this card that they're gonna put on, man. We going against a lot of the local Chicago talent. You know, just something to kind of just keep, you know, try to keep it fresh, man, because you get a lot of the same themed battles all the time, the big names versus the big names, but it's a lot of dudes that's putting in work that's on these local scenes that need these opportunities. So I try to do my best to go to these local leagues, shed light on their league, and then that also helps bring light to the undercard. You know, that's kind of like what I do in this, you know?
You just love them road wins, man.
That's it, man. Go over there and, you know what I'm saying?
Why do you love them road wins, man? Why do you let
it mean more, though. It do mean more on the road. And battle rap is just like any other sport. Like, if you go to somebody's house and they heckling, they cheering against you.
Silence the crowd.
And then when it's over, they like, nah, he the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? He came over here and did that. You know, that's
Jordan in the Garden.
Most definitely. Jordan in the Garden.
I would like to see a Geechi Gotti Award 3.
A 3. We want that though, because I feel like everybody feel like I got the second, everybody feel like he got the first. And Ward and Gotti, the boxers, had a trilogy. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Arturo Gotti and Mickey Ward. So you never know, man. You might see me at Ward one more time. You know what I'm saying? You might see us one more time.
Is the victory more important if it's a 3-0 or 2-1? 2-1? You still satisfied with a 2-1?
Yeah, we satisfied with the 2-1, but the 3-0 is you give me that 3-0, like it mean more. Like, yeah, I 30'd you. It's harder to say I 30'd you than I 2-1'd you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I 30'd him, man. You know, so yeah, them 30s mean a lot. Yeah, we don't want no splits. We want unanimous, man.
Are you impressed by yourself with some of the bars that you come up with?
Yeah, give us some favorites, man. Some favorites.
Man, my favorite ones.
You gotta throw them away and can't rap again.
I just said the other day in Canada, I said,
no, he said Wet Dreams.
Wet Dreams, I came from nothing.
That was hard.
You know what I'm saying?
I literally
came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? That was one of mine. You know what I'm saying? The voicemail bar, you know what I'm saying, against Surf. A lot of people like that one. the bad news when I just said they only had bad reception, no service.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the Antoine
setup
flips,
was the whole flips. You know,
that was crazy.
Like a lot of that, man. You know what I'm saying? When I battle surf the wave length, you know what I'm saying, the casket size. So a lot of those ones for sure. Like, you know, I got a lot though. Yeah, I got a lot of quotables out there in battle rap for sure.
The recent one, I think you said it was the French tips line.
Oh yeah. So much residue under my fingernails, it looked like French tips. Like I said that. That's what I'm saying, man. Like I could go all day, man. You know what I'm saying? We go all day with them.
There was another one. It was a Marvel setup. With,
man. Looking at the Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That's what I do, beat out, man.
Yeah,
that's what I do, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I can remember them a little bit, but usually when I get off the stage, I'm one of the battle rappers, like, I can go blank, like, cause I've been so, like, cramming it, trying to get it. I done let it all out, so it's like, you walk up to me after the battle, like, yo, what was that line? I'll be like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Then later on that night or something, start coming back to me, but like, yeah, definitely, man, like, I'm blessed to say I'm one of the battle rappers that do got a lot of quotables, do got a lot of memorable rounds. I was known for having monumental third rounds. That's what made this last battle so monumental, because I came in the game with known, and people would always say, like, you already going down 1-0 because Geechi gonna win the third. That was kind of my theme of coming up. Like, I would always win the third round no matter what. Like, the stuff I was saying the third would kind of like be the best thing said in the battle. So yeah, man, most definitely, you know, I mean,
So is that the strategy to make sure you have a strong first round? If you're gonna lose a round, lose the second round.
Lose second, yeah.
You gotta be ready.
You gotta be ready,
finish it close strong.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then now I think even the seconds though, a lot of people try to win those second rounds now. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like some people, those first rounds, you know, you get the crowd hype, but then you can kind of take them back when that second changed the way the battle going. So, but like, yeah, the most important rounds to most people is that first and that third, is either how you started and how you finish it. And that's definitely.
But do you go back and watch the old videos or the old battles just to, like, game tape?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't really watch a lot of other battlers, but when I go back and watch myself, like I would go see like where I can improve at, see what kind of lines did they receive better than others, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let me do more of this and less of this. You know, like I study my own game tapes a lot of times. Like I don't really go back and watch too much other battlers' battles and stuff like that. But like, yeah, definitely when it's time for a battle, I kind of go back and watch my old tapes. Like, okay, this the bag they want me in, so let me make sure I'm in that one.
Do you remember any tough punchlines that you received?
Oh yeah, man, I done heard so many, man. Oh my goodness, you know what I'm saying? Like for real, man. What was it, man? Nitty said something like, you know what I'm saying? He said he should have went back to the old bay. He said, I can't even think of the line. I don't want to butcher it, but he had a cold bar. You know what I'm saying? About me with the tree or something like you know what I mean? A big bullet racist by his ass. You should have found the bigger tree or something that was cold. I had a bar when I first came up with Young Grizz. You know what I'm saying? By my name being Geechi Gotti, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people know like the Geechi is that's a whole culture of people, you know what I mean, that represent that, you know. So he had a line referring to that, like he gonna be 6 feet deep, but his mind on his motherland, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what I mean? Like to people that know that like that line hit. So yeah, I done heard some of the coldest stuff in that ring against me for sure.
Have you ever bombed? Like
choked?
Yeah.
Only one time, man, on a real one time, and it was against Danny Myers. I was on A-Hat. It was a 1-round battle. And I knew I was going to choke, too. It was like right before the battle. That's why I say I don't smoke or drink no more, man, because right before the battle, I remember somebody passed me a blunt to hit it, and I hit the blunt. And as soon as I hit it, I forgot everything I was going to say. And as soon as I forgot everything, they like, to the stage, Geechi Gotti. I'm like, I'm looking around like, wait, did he send this dude? What's going on? Hold on, I need 10 minutes. So, man, as I'm walking to the stage, I'm trying to remember it. So I'm rapping it in my head. And every time, and as soon as they calling my name, I'm getting to like the middle of where I got in my head, like I'm rapping it in my head, and I don't remember like the middle of it. I'm like, oh shit. So as I'm rapping it, I feel it coming up like, oh man, like that's that part that I couldn't even remember as I was walking to the stage. And if you watch the battle, I say it like, as soon as I choke, I'm like, man, dang, right when it was cracking, like I had him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm bombing on Danny the whole battle. And then right there I choked, but then I got it back and I ended strong. But like, yeah, that was something like, you know, that's why I need a 3-round with Danny, man. I gotta make that up to him. You know, the bar guy, I gotta get 3, but that's the only battle in my career that I choked in, yeah.
So before we get out of here, what do you consider your top 3 victories?
That's a good one.
Good question, Elliot.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Try it out here. I'm learning about battle rap today,
buddy. That's
buddy.
a good one. Of course, Loaded Lux. Loaded Lux, man, pioneered the game. Yeah. It was in LA, hosted by Drake. All my people was there. It was a big battle, monumental. You know what I'm saying? That was a huge win, probably one of my hugest wins. Eazy The Block Captain, his latest one. Yeah. I feel like for everything that it did for my career, all the viralness, everything, talked about it, the matchup, what it meant, how big that was, you know what I'm saying? And probably in the same breath of Eazy was the New Jersey Twerk Battle, because at that time, it was the first event on Caffeine, it was the headline, it was for the face of the new era, it meant a lot, there was a lot of stakes on that one, so yeah, those three probably was like three of the biggest, for sure.
Right. So the bigger the stage, the sharper the big Geechi is.
Yeah, come on, when the lights is on, I gotta show up, man, I got, you know what I'm saying, I gotta show up when the pressure is on, for sure, for sure.
Well, thank you for showing up for us, man, Geechi.
Yeah, man, this was dope,
legendary.
Man. Appreciate you, man,
Yes,
appreciate you, man.
Big Geechi.
Big Geechi Gotti.
We in the building, man. Shout out No Studio, you know what it is, man.
Word up.
Yeah, Rap Radar Podcast.
Yeah.